Well, folks, buckle up because this is a big one. German automotive titans, yes, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi are reportedly packing their schnitzel and heading for the exits. They're leaving the United States market. This isn't a quiet, polite departure. It's more like a dramatic movie scene, complete with screeching tires and a cloud of exhaust fumes. The American love affair with German engineering might be heading for a very messy, very public breakup. So, what's the big orange-hued reason for this automotive Armageddon? You guessed it. Tariffs. Specifically, former President Donald Trump's steep tariffs. In early April 2025, he slapped a hefty 25% tariff on automotive imports. Think of it as a massive welcome tax that nobody really welcomed, especially not the Germans. This move has sent shockwaves, or perhaps Trump waves, through the global auto industry. BMW, the ultimate driving machine, might soon be the ultimate departing machine. Mercedes-Benz, the epitome of luxury, could become a luxury item you simply can't get. And Audi, with its 4 rings, might find those rings forming a big 0 in their U.S. sales column. These aren't niche players, they are giants, pillars of the automotive establishment. Their decision to withdraw, or at least significantly scale back, is a monumental event. The U.S. auto industry, already a complex beast, is about to get a massive shakeup. Higher prices are almost a certainty. Fewer choices in the luxury segment? Absolutely. Donald Trump's second term has been, shall we say, eventful for global trade. His America First policy isn't just a slogan, it's a wrecking ball aimed at established economic relationships. Tariffs have become his favorite tool, a sort of economic Swiss Army knife if the knife only had a giant rusty blade labeled taxes. The stated goal is to protect American jobs, but the methods are causing widespread international bewilderment and, frankly, a lot of anger. The big one, the tariff that really kicked this hornet's nest, was the 25% levy on automotive imports. Imagine running a multi-billion-dollar international car company and suddenly finding out your products are 25% more expensive to sell in one of your biggest markets. Trump has been quite vocal, as he tends to be. He's urged German car companies to build their plants in the U.S., essentially saying, come here and make your cars, or pay through the nose. The idea is to turn German car companies into American firms, or at least make them contribute more directly to the U.S. economy, tariff style, whether they like it or not. An executive order was signed to prevent additional tariffs on steel and aluminum from stacking on top of these automotive tariffs. But here's the thing, when you're dealing with this level of uncertainty, a small bandage doesn't exactly inspire confidence for long-term multi-billion-dollar investment decisions. BMW Bayerische Motoren Werke, a name synonymous with performance and luxury. Their plant in Spartanburg, South Carolina, is a behemoth. It's actually their largest production facility in the entire world. The biggest BMW factory, right here in the USA, employing thousands of American workers. You'd think that would count for something, right? Well, in the wild world of tariff politics, apparently not as much as you'd hope. Tariffs hit imported parts and cars they still import. It's a complex global supply chain, and tariffs are like throwing sand in the gears. BMW reported a sharp drop in its first quarter profits. They've had to suspend or cut their full-year financial guidance. BMW, like any smart company, needs stability to thrive. What they got instead was a roller coaster designed by a toddler. Mercedes-Benz, the three-pointed star, a global icon of luxury and engineering. For decades, owning a Mercedes has been a status symbol in America. Now that star might be dimming over the U.S. market. Mercedes-Benz is considering a U.S. exit. It's like Tiffany & Company closing its Fifth Avenue store. Trump's tariffs hit Mercedes-Benz like a runaway freight train. The company had to scrap its earnings guidance. They reported significantly lower profits. Trade policies have disrupted their operations. Mercedes-Benz isn't just a brand, it's an employer. In the U.S., the company employs over 11,000 people. These jobs are spread across 12 locations. Tariffs put these jobs at serious risk. German car makers tried stockpiling. They rushed cars into the U.S. to beat higher duties. But stockpiling is like putting a bucket under a leaking roof. It might buy time, but it doesn't fix the hole. Eventually, the warehouse runs out of space. The decision to leave indicates the leak has become a flood. Section 5 Audi's Ingolstadt agony, a reluctant U.S. retreat, and then there's Audi. The Ingolstadt-based manufacturer, a key part of the mighty Volkswagen Group, is also caught squarely in this tariff tornado. Audi, known for its progressive design and quattro all-wheel drive system, has carved out a significant niche in the American luxury and performance market. But now, like its German compatriots, Audi is facing an incredibly tough decision regarding its future in the United States, a market it has spent decades cultivating. The challenges for Audi mirror those faced by BMW and Mercedes-Benz. The 25% tariff on imported vehicles is a brutal financial hit, pure and simple. The company has undoubtedly seen its financial forecast for the U.S. market shredded. Interestingly, Audi had reportedly been exploring the idea of building a manufacturing plant in the United States. However, the sudden imposition of such steep and sweeping tariffs seems to have accelerated their decision in the opposite direction. Instead of investing more in the U.S., they are now looking at pulling back. For Audi, what was once a promising market, ripe for expansion, has now become a source of significant financial pain and strategic headaches. The dream of capturing an even larger slice of the American automotive pie is fading, replaced by the grim reality of a forced retreat. Section 6, Ripple Effects, the U.S. auto industry under siege. Now you might be thinking, okay, German luxury cars are leaving. Sad for rich people, but what about the rest of us? Well, hold on a second, this isn't just about BMWs and Benzes disappearing from the valet line. The exit of these major players is sending shockwaves through the U.S. auto industry. It's like pulling a few crucial Jenga blocks from the bottom of the tower. The whole thing is starting to wobble. This situation has the potential to unravel the American auto industry from the supply chain right up to the showroom floor. Modern cars are incredibly complex machines, assembled from thousands of parts sourced from all over the world. The German automakers have deep and intricate supply networks, many of which involve U.S. suppliers. When these giants leave or drastically reduce their U.S. operations, those American suppliers take a massive hit. We're talking about companies that make everything from seats to software, electronics to engine components. Disruptions are not just possible, they are inevitable. This interconnectedness means the pain will be widely felt across numerous states and sectors, affecting countless American jobs. And then there are the jobs. We've already mentioned the direct employees of BMW and Mercedes in the U.S., but think bigger. Think about the dealerships that sell and service these cars. Think about the logistics companies that transport them. The potential for job losses extends far beyond the factory gates of the German automakers themselves. Section 7. The American car buyer's burden, higher prices, fewer choices. Alright, let's bring this home to you, the American car buyer. If you were dreaming of that sleek German sedan or a sporty Bavarian SUV, well, your dream might be about to get a lot more expensive, or perhaps just unavailable. The departure of BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi from the U.S. market, or even a significant reduction in their presence, is undeniably bad news for consumers. Get ready to open your wallets wider or perhaps start looking at different car brochures. The most immediate and obvious impact? Higher prices. Basic economics, folks. When major competitors leave a market, the remaining players face less competition. And less competition almost invariably leads to higher prices. The European luxury vehicles that do remain available or similar models from other brands are likely to see their price tags creep upwards. Beyond just price, get ready for reduced availability and fewer choices. The sheer variety of models, trims and options offered by these German giants will shrink dramatically. Your choices are narrowing, and that's rarely a good thing for the consumer. Section 8. Expert Opinions. Deciphering the economic fallout. So, it's not just me, your friendly neighborhood explainer of complex global chaos, who thinks this is a big deal. Actual experts, people who study economies and automotive trends for a living, are also sounding the alarm. Analysts and industry insiders are looking at this situation with wide eyes and furrowed brows. They see the departure of German auto giants not just as a car story, but as a significant economic event with far-reaching consequences. Take Rella Susskind, an analyst at Morningstar. She pointed out something crucial about that executive order meant to prevent tariffs from stacking up. While it offered some partial relief, she emphasized that the overwhelming uncertainty created by the overall tariff strategy prevents companies from making sensible long-term capital allocation decisions. Businesses thrive on predictability. When the government is playing tariff roulette, big companies get very, very nervous about investing billions of dollars. It's like trying to build a house during an earthquake, not a recipe for success and definitely not reassuring. Then there's Michael Robinet from S&P Global Mobility. Section 9. The Road Ahead, New Strategies and Lingering Questions. So, the German auto giants are slamming the brakes on their American dream, or at least a significant part of it. What now? What's the next move for BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi? They can't just sit around and mope. These are massive global corporations. They need to regroup, rethink, and strategize for a future where the U.S. market is either off-limits or prohibitively expensive. This situation forces them to look elsewhere and adapt quickly. One clear strategy emerging is diversification, and a renewed focus on the build where you sell principle. If the U.S. is becoming hostile territory, then it makes sense to strengthen their presence in other major markets. Asia, particularly China, despite its own complexities, remains a huge market for luxury cars. We might see German automakers doubling down on investments there, or in other regions that offer more stable trade environments. The idea is to not be overly reliant on any single market, especially one that can turn on you with a 25% tariff overnight. And what about the United States? What's the path forward for the American auto market and its relationship with these iconic brands? If tariffs remain high and the business environment stays unpredictable, then the German exodus might be permanent. This could lead to a less competitive U.S. auto market, with fewer choices and higher prices for consumers in the long run.